If you're interested in how to really suss out what's the right coaching certification for you and how long you should realistically estimate for it to take, you're in luck because we're going to get into it right now. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time 7-figure certified life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things, and I know that many of you are interested in getting your certification too. However, of all the questions that we have around certification, I know one of the big ones is, how long is this actually going to take, right? Because if you look online or you just Google life coaching certification or coaching certification, you can see, time periods to get your certification that really range the gamut. So if you're interested in how to really suss out what's the right coaching certification for you and how long you should realistically estimate for it to take, you're in luck because we're going to get into it right now. All right, so you might be wondering how long it took me to get my certification. Well, it actually took me 7 years? 7 years to get my coaching certification. Now, I joke and say that a bit tongue-in-cheek, but in reality, I was able to get my coaching certification in part because of time served, right? So you'll find that most coaching programs have a part of the training where you just take the training and kind of learn directly from a coach, and then there's actual coaching hours that you have to amass in order to demonstrate that you have the ability to practice these skills. Now, I have been coaching since 2014, but full-time since 2016. So I had a long list of logged coaching hours that, really allowed me to submit for my coaching accreditation, again, because of time served, so to speak, or the amount of time that I put in it. Yes, there was some additional training that I had to do, but that was just kind of like a cherry on the cake, right? Because I had already been coaching for so many years. Now I say that because that's not going to be the case for a lot of people. A lot of people are just trying to get into coaching and they actually don't feel comfortable coaching on their own, just learning things on their own, figuring it out, trying to get it right. And I totally get that, right? And so they're like, yes, I want to start a coaching business, but I want my certification from the very beginning. And there's certainly nothing wrong with that. I've talked about ad nauseum how it's not necessary, right? For the record, I have said, and I will continue to say, you don't need a coaching certification in order to be a life coach, right? It's not necessarily like a therapist or like a doctor where you need a particular degree or certification, but it can be helpful if it makes you feel more confident around the type of coaching that you're doing. And I found that even in my own coaching certification program, we have a lot of people joining who are like, look, I've coached for years, right? I have paying clients, I have a brand and a website, but I joined this because, I felt kind of like, imposter syndrome. Like, is the way that I'm coaching effective? Like, do I really know what I'm doing? And so having a coaching certification can really eliminate that. All right, so if you haven't already been coaching for several years and you want to dive into it from the start, how long is it going to take you to get your coaching certification? And the answer is, it depends, right? I mean, you already know this. If you Google life coaching certification, you're going to see programs out of a range of, durations, right? I've seen programs that are like, you can be a life coach in a weekend, right? Saturday and half day Sunday, and boom, we will, email you a copy of your coaching certification. And I've seen other coaching certifications that take 18 months, right, just to get through the training. So it really depends, right? Here's some things that you want to keep in mind. Oftentimes the, quick, I call them like overnight coaching certifications, get your coaching certification in a weekend. That's good if you just want the certification just, to feel more comfortable calling yourself a coach. But I find that almost always those programs are not accredited because they can't be, because an accrediting coaching body, and there are several, right? And my coaching program is accredited by an international coaching body, is going to require a certain amount of hours in order to demonstrate mastery. So if you do a coaching program, in a weekend, you're like, hey, they digitally email you a certification. Yeah, they're saying you're certified in their methodology, but there's no like third-party accreditation on top of that because it was just too fast, right? It's gonna take you more time to do that. Now, on the other end of the pendulum, there are programs that not only take 6 months, 12 months, sometimes 18 months in order to get through the core coaching training. Oftentimes, in order to get your accreditation, right? So that's from the third party, coaching association or accrediting body that says like, okay, we stamp this person as being an adequate coach. Oftentimes they are going to require that in addition to your coach training that you have so many hours logged in. And this is where people really get caught up because they spend all this money on the coaching certification, getting really excited, thinking like, yes, I spent 18 months of my life, right? Or even 6 months of my life getting the certification. I'm done. Now I'm going to be a certified accredited coach. And they don't realize like, not so fast. You've gone through the training portion of the coaching certification, but now it's up to you on your own to do hundreds of coaching hours, right? Literally like hundreds of coaching at 200, 300, depends on the type of certification that you're going for. But oftentimes they will require that you do hundreds of coaching hours on your own. You have to log them, and then you kind of put that in a packet, and then you submit it, and then you wait for your accreditation, right? And that could take a long time. Oftentimes, these accrediting bodies or associations are, very backed up, right? They're slammed. Coaching is very popular. A lot of people are getting into the industry. And so it could take months, right, for you to then get your coaching hours reviewed so that you can finally receive that accreditation, right, on top of your certification. So that's why I say ultimately it depends on what do you want the coaching certification for. Do you just want a coaching certification so that you can feel better about calling yourself a coach? Then, you can do a weekend type thing. Do you want to actually learn the skills of coaching and learn how to be an effective coach and create breakthroughs for your clients? Then yes, you will want to go through probably a longer period training, but just know that in order to get that accreditation is going to take additional, it could be an additional 18 months for you to finally get in all of those hours in order to be able to submit that to the accrediting body. So I say all that to say, that's why I designed my program the way it is, right? So I recently released my CLS coaching certification. No, it doesn't just stand for CLS CourtneyLSanders. It actually stands for Coach of Life Success, because that is the designation that you will walk away with. We are accredited by an international third-party accrediting body, and we have worked with them in order to structure our coaching program so that not only do you get the coach training, but you also get the coach practice hours, right? And we even bring you safe clients. Yes, we prepare clients for you to work with in the program so that you can get those coaching hours done at the same time that you are going through your coach training, which is why our program allows you to get your accredited coaching certification in as little as 90 days, which in my opinion is unheard of. And then on top of that, because I've always had a bone to pick with coaching certifications and that they don't teach you how to build a business, like that's the dirty little secret of the industry that no one wants to talk about. Even if they say they'll teach you how to build a business, literally what they mean is sending you home with some PDFs around like, oh, this is how you find a client, or go on GoDaddy in order to build a website. Like, it's not real business building tools. And beyond business building tools, what you need to learn how to do is build a brand, because no one is going to sign up for your coaching just because you have a certification. Ultimately, they want to know what you stand for, and that's really what a brand and being visible is all about. And so my coaching certification has an option where you can actually go through the entire marketing process that I've done from the very beginning. Before even I had a social media following or any of these things, where I was able to use these strategies to build a 7-figure coaching business. So if that is of interest to you, you want to get certified in 90 days or less with an accredited program, and also learn how to come up with your own coaching methodology. Didn't talk about that, but that will help you set yourself apart. And you want to learn how to build a brand so that you can become the next big name in the process. Go ahead and click the link below in the description box to apply. And if accepted, you'll be invited to a call with our enrollment coordinators who will walk you through the entire process. So that's how long it takes to get a coaching certification. I would love to know in the comments how quickly you want to get your coaching certification in. Share in the comments below. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next YouTube video, make sure you subscribe to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure you are following me on Instagram and TikTok. It's CourtneyLSanders on both. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.